Welcome to Fluff in the Corporate Space by Saffron Conscious. I'm your host, MC, the Corporate Heart Guide. Today's episode is titled, When You Cannot Regulate, You Must Witness. There are moments where regulation is not available. Too much is happening. Too much is moving. Too much is unknown. And in those moments, forcing calm does not work. You can tell yourself to breathe. You can tell yourself to settle down. You can even tell yourself to think positively. You can remind yourself that everything will be okay. And sometimes none of it works. Because there are moments when the system is simply carrying too much. And when that happens, I think we need another possibility, something gentler, something that doesn't ask us to immediately become okay. That possibility is witnessing, not fixing the state, not changing the state, not improving the state, just noticing. This is what is here now. And there's something incredibly powerful about that sentence. This is what is here now. Not this shouldn't be happening. Not I need to get myself together. Not why can't I handle this? Not I should be more resilient. Just this is what is here now. There's fear here. There's anger here. There's uncertainty here. There's exhaustion here. There is grief here. There is confusion here. There is a body that feels overwhelmed, a mind that doesn't know what to do. And I can witness all of it without immediately demanding that it change. That is different from giving up. That is different from becoming passive. It is different from saying, well, this is just who I am. Witnessing is not surrendering your agency. It is creating enough space to actually see what is happening before deciding what to do about it. And that distinction matters because when we are overwhelmed, our first instinct is often to control. We want the feeling to stop. We want the uncertainty to end. We want the answer. We want the phone call. We want the money. We want the apology. We want the decision. We just want to know what is going to happen next. And when we cannot control the external situation, we often turn that need to control inward. We start trying to control ourselves. Calm down, breathe, stop crying, get it together. We tell ourselves, think clearly, be strong, don't fall apart. And suddenly, we're not only experiencing the original difficulty, we are fighting ourselves to have a response to it. Now, there are two things happening. There is the experience itself, and then there is our resistance to having that experience. I hope I'm making sense. And that resistance can make everything heavier. So witnessing offers another doorway. Instead of saying, how do I make this stop? We ask, can I stay close enough to myself to notice what is happening? That's a very different question because you don't have to solve an experience in order to witness it. You don't have to understand it completely. And you don't have to have the right language. You don't even have to know what to do in that moment. But you can simply just notice my heart is racing. My thoughts are moving very, very quickly. And I feel like I need to do something immediately because I don't know what to do right now. So I feel afraid. I feel angry. I feel completely overwhelmed. And then this is what is here now. There's dignity in that because you're no longer abandoning yourself in that moment that you need yourself. And I think that is an important thing to become aware of. Sometimes we talk about emotional regulation as though the goal is to become calm as quickly as possible. But perhaps calm is not always the immediate destination. Sometimes the most honest thing you can do is acknowledge, I'm not feeling calm right now. And that acknowledgement can in itself create a little space, not because the feeling disappears, but because you have stopped pretending it is not there. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. You don't stand there and shout at the sky, "Could you please regulate yourself?" You don't demand that the wind stop because you're uncomfortable. You recognize there's a storm. You look at what is moving. You look at what is dangerous. You look for shelter. You protect what needs protecting. And you wait for the next piece of information. You don't need the storm to become beautiful before you acknowledge that it is happening. In the same way, witnessing doesn't require your internal experience to become pleasant. It asks you to become a little more honest about what is actually happening, and honesty creates information. I hope this episode has been clear in how witnessing happens. Remember, like water, flow with ease and gentleness, and let's continue navigating the currents of our own lives. Until next time, goodbye.